If you have been running Facebook ads and struggling with the results you are looking for, chances are you are falling for some pretty common myths. In this video, I'm going to break down 5 biggest myths about Facebook ads that might be holding you back. These are the things I see a lot of people struggle with, and honestly, some of them used to be great advice, but not anymore. I've been running Facebook ads for 4 years now and have worked with multiple D2C brands, and I have seen firsthand how these myths can really kill your scalability. So let's get right into it. Myth number 1, audience testing. Audience testing used to be great back in 2021 or 2022, but if you are still relying on it, or if you are still relying on interest-based targeting or lookalike audience or custom audience to improve your overall results, then you are making a huge mistake. Instead of focusing on audience testing, your entire focus should be on creative testing, because you are going to get much higher ROI, much higher return on investment by investing more on the creative side of the things rather than investing into the audience side or audience segmentation side of the things. Because pretty much nowadays, a lot of the targeting is automated by Facebook already. Your creative is the new targeting. Let me give you a very brief example on how Facebook actually does the creative targeting when you publish an ad creative. Let's say if you publish an ad creative related to pet foods, Facebook algorithm will show that particular ad creative initially to a set of dog owners or pet owners, and according to based on how many people react with that or how many people take actions with that, it will show that particular ad, or it will push that particular ad to a similar kind of an audience. And that's why you don't really need to rely on audience based targeting anymore. Facebook does that for you anyways. In fact, in our agency, 90% of the ad sets that we are running are pretty much broad and open targeting. We don't do any sort of interest based targeting for top of the funnel at least, because that is what working best for majority of the ad accounts that we are handling right now. Myth number 2, creative fatigue. This is another big issue. I have seen a lot of people really complaining over the fact that their creatives are not performing after a particular duration of the time. Or I have seen a lot of people suggesting this thing that every 7 to 10 days you need to replace your existing creative, because somehow after a particular amount of spend or after a particular amount of days, your creatives stop performing. And in my point of view, this is completely bullshit, because there are certain creatives that we launched back in January this year and have spent thousands but are still running profitably. And on the flip side, there are also creatives that we launched I think 3 days back and have completely failed. It all depends upon how much your creative resonates with your target audience and how well your creative is dependent on the current market trends. If your creative is not very much resonating with your target audience, it's not going to take up the majority of the spend. That's why creative fatigue happens. It is not related with any amount or any specific amount or any specific amount of days you are running the creatives for. I have seen multiple creatives scaling to 5 figures, 6 figures alone, and most of them used to have a great hook. Most of them used to tap into the emotions or the desires of the audience in a much better format as compared to the creatives which do not take that much amount of spend. In the upcoming videos, I'm going to making a series about how you can make ad creatives which can really resonate with your audience and which you can scale to a minimum of $10,000 or $20,000 on that particular creative alone. So stay tuned for that. And to be clear, we do test new creative concepts every single week. We do test like 3 to 4 creative concepts every single week for our clients. But the motive here is to improve the overall campaign performance, not to fight with creative fatigue. So forget the concept about creative fatigue from your mind and focus on crafting more effective and better ad creatives for your campaigns. Myth number 3, the funnel approach. If you still think you have to run engagement to traffic to sales campaign in order to make people aware about your product, then make them come to your store and then make them buy your products, that's not how Facebook works anymore. If you want people to buy from your store, just run a simple sales campaign. Because you need to understand this fact, Facebook targets audience based on your campaign's objective. So if you are choosing an objective of traffic campaign, Facebook will push your ad creative in front of the audience who are most likely going to click on your ad and come to your store but are not active buyers. Same thing happens when you run an engagement campaign. Facebook algorithm will push your ad creative to those people who will most likely comment on your ads, who will most likely react on your ads, but are not active buyers. So what's the point of targeting them in the first hand? It doesn't make any kind of a sense. So instead of following any kind of complicated structure, simply run a simple sales campaign or simply run a simple lead generation campaign, or whatever your end goal is. Whatever your end goal is, run that particular objective and you will be much better as compared to running a different kind of funnel approach. That doesn't work anymore in Facebook ads in 2024 at least. Myth number 4, running ads for all the products. This specifically applies for e-commerce brands. I have seen a lot of brands wasting their budget by running ads on all the products they have. And that's a huge waste of the budget, because realistically, all the products is not going to give you similar kind of performance. That's not how paid ads works. In most of the scenarios, you will have around 2 or 3 hero products which will give you maximum amount of sales. So instead of spreading your budget across all the products, your focus should be on concentrating that budget into those 2 to 3 hero products and get as many customers as possible from the front end, and then upselling them into your other products through remarketing or retention marketing like SMS marketing, email marketing, because that will be a much better approach as compared to just spreading your budget and dropping your overall performance. Rather than that, better approach is just to run a simple campaign with maximum amount of budget onto those 2 to 3 products that is working and getting as many customers as possible with a profitable ROS. Myth number 5, you can't start a sales campaign in your new ad account. I've heard this a lot. A lot of people suggest that you should not be starting a sales campaign if you have a new ad account, because that will make your ad account banned somehow. Although this can be true, but if you follow these 3 steps, the possibilities of that is pretty much low, because I do not do any sort of warm for my ad account. I simply run a sales campaign, or I simply run a, let's say, lead generation campaign if it is a new ad account also. I just want to make sure my business manager is verified, my payment method is set up correctly, and I'm not violating any sort of Facebook ads policies, because I'm very thorough with it. So if you are not, just take your time and read through those policies and make sure that you are not violating any policies in first few months at least, and you are good to go. You can launch a sales campaign in a fresh new ad account without worrying about any sort of bans. But if your business manager is not verified, if you have not set up the payment method properly, then you should consider the fact of running some sort of warm-ups where you can run an engagement campaign with a very low budget of, let's say, 100 rupees or 200 rupees or $1 or $2 per day, and you will be good to go with warm-ups for like 5 to 6 days, and then you will be able to run sales campaign without worrying about any sort of bans. So these are the 5 myths about Facebook ads. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for new videos every week related to D2C, related to e-commerce, related to Facebook ads specifically. And if you want our team to help you with your Facebook ads and help your brand to scale your Facebook ads profitably, schedule a call by clicking the link below, and I will see you in the next video.